when I graduated, I did have a professor in college who was gave a lot of like really great real world advice. And I kept in touch with him for a few years after graduation. And then it was kind of just people I worked with, like, people who are ahead of me or more senior. But when I got into affiliate, I will say, at Pepper Jam, my boss there, Jenna Walsh was her name, and she was just one of those people that just knew like both sides of the space, and she knew the back and the tech. Like she was very
Oh, okay.
intelligent, and knew that kind of stuff too. So she was just such. I always say like I am as good as what I am because I had her training
Oh,
me
that's great.
and I was
Yeah.
under her wing. So she was really great. And then I've always had great people alongside me, whether they were superiors or not, just great colleagues who you were surrounded by. And I could, hear them and share things with them and just see because, and this added to the email situation, but at Pepper Gym, we used to be in teams of maybe like 3 to 4 in like little pods. We
Yeah.
would copy each other on all of each other's clients. And we each had like anywhere from like 7 to 10 clients. So like there was just constant emails, but we got to see what everybody else was doing. So it kind of gave us a heads up and allowed us to kind of grow and be like, oh, she's trying that with this partner. Like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. I might be able to
Yeah.
do that with mine. So it opened up the doors for a lot of collaboration in that
Yeah.
sense.
Right.
And then here at the Fool, when I was at the agency side managing the program, my contact here, his name is John Keeling, and he's been with the Fool a long time. And he's kind of like, I always tell people he's like a jack of all trades. He does a lot of different things here, wears a lot of different hats, but he's definitely been a mentor and somebody I've been able to really learn so much about the company through him, and just different facets of it. And, just kind of help build this program, alongside of him this whole time.
I think that idea of collaboration and just sort of being in the same room with others and being able to sort of absorb what they do and how they do it differently. Like I always talk about that from a painting standpoint. Like I paint quite a lot on my own, and then I always find it's super valuable not to take classes, but if I'm just in the room with someone else and we're painting the same thing, and the idea is like you can just look over and be like, wow, how did you approach that? Or how did you decide on that color? Or how did you decide to brush it that way? And I do miss that. Do you have like, just more of that? Do you get a lot of chance to be in the office with others in your on your team, or is it something that you really only get together when it's like a coordinated event or at these summits?
It's more so we do like 2 team retreats a year. We'll go into the office as a team, and sometimes a couple other teams are in at the same time, and then our one company retreat. But our office is going to close at the end of the year. So we won't have a
Ah,
physical office anymore. So they've been leaning into like liquid spaces
yep,
to help
sure.
people in different areas kind of collaborate and get together. I don't really have any other fools in the area that I am, so I'd have to travel either to like down to Philly or into New York City and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit harder for me. It depends on where you live, but there are a lot of fools that do get together in like certain metropolitan areas where there is like at least a couple of them living in the same place.